What is going on, everybody? It's the Franz, and we're here for AEW on TNT review for February the 17th, 2021. On our way to Revolution. This was a really good show. Lots of build to Revolution, with the end of the show giving us what is going to be the wildest match in AEW history, and I think US wrestling television history in the last, I don't know, probably ever. We'll get to that later. But we started the show off with Matt Hardy and Hangman Page versus the Hybrid 2. Now, last week, Hangman Page and Matt Hardy were having drinks at the bar. And Matt Hardy thought he was signing Hangman Adam Page to another match, another contract like Private Party. What was he actually signing? Because if you watch the video back, Hangman Page tosses the papers, tosses the contract that Matt Hardy gave him, pulled papers out of his pockets, out of his jacket, signed it, had Matt sign it. Matt took it to his lawyers without even reading it. Which is dumb mistake number one, and everybody tells you, every lawyer tells you, read the fine print. Don't think you're going out there to sign something and get the contract, sign what you think you're going to sign. Always read the fine print. So we had this match. This was originally supposed to be an 8-man tag match. It was going to be Private Party, Matt Hardy, and Hangman Page versus Serpentico, Luther, and the Hybrid 2. For whatever reason, this match was switched to a tag team match. Now, Isaiah Cassidy was here tonight. Mark Quinn was not. So either something happened, like he was in contact with somebody with COVID, or something COVID related, or something not COVID related. We don't know. All I know is this was turned into a regular tag team match. Luther would face Orange Cassidy later in the show. But this is a really good opener. AEW, if AEW might have a show that just feels like it's down. Every single week, one of the things they are very consistent with, great opening matches, whether it's a tag team match, singles match, battle royal, whatever. If you're going to watch any part of the show, that is always guaranteed up to this point to be good or great, it's the opener, 100%. This was no different. Angelico, there was a spot in this where Jack Evans went for, I think it was a 450, and he missed, I believe it was Matt Hardy, completely. I don't know what happened here. Maybe it was it was either that or a Phoenix Splash, but whatever it was, he went off the top and he slipped or something and missed completely. It looked bad. I hope both competitors are okay. Page hits both men with a buckshot lariat. Matt Hardy gets the twist of fate, and Jack Evans sells that so well. 1, 2, he hit on Angelico, not Jack Evans. Angelico, 1, 2, 3, and Matt Hardy and Hangman Page win. But that's not where you want to talk about this match. After the match, Matt takes the mic, says Page looked like $1 billion. He's going to make a lot of money. And since I'm taking 30% of it, I'm going to make a lot of money too. I'm very happy that Page decided to sign with me. You made the right choice. Now, Hangman takes the mic. Matt gets another one. And Hangman was like, did you even read the contract? Matt's like, no, I just sent it off to my lawyers. And I have some friends who've told him to keep an extra set of papers in my pocket. Page says Hardy should have looked at those papers a little closer. Hardy says he just sent it to the lawyers. Page says, can we get somebody from legal out here, from the Jags legal team, to come out? And out comes Jackson Duvall, the mascot for the Jaguars, with a copy of this contract. Now, immediately, before Matt Hardy even says anything, you can tell this was not a talent contract. This was a match contract for Revolution, because the contract at the very top has the Revolution logo. And he says, this isn't a talent management contract. It's for a match at Revolution. If Page wins, he'll earn Hardy's first quarter earnings for 2021. Hardy calls Page a carny and asks him to put his money where his mouth is. How about if I beat you, because it's really not fair that I have to put up money but you don't, why don't you put up your first half earnings? So basically, it's a money match. The winner is going to be a lot more richer than the loser. Paige responds that we may have a money match. Hardy tells Paige that he's finished as they shake hands. We get the Jackson Duval attacks Adam Page, and it turns out to be Isaiah Cassidy. Again, no Mark Quinn anywhere to be seen, so I'm just going to speculate with the whole scandemic stuff going on still that maybe he came in contact with somebody with COVID or something. This is the live edition of AEW. Next week will be taped, and the week after that, which will most likely, if I'm correct, be the 3rd of March, will be next week will be taped tomorrow. Then the live episode will be on the 3rd, which will be Shaq and Jade Cargill versus, Cody and Red Velvet. That's what we're getting from there. So, yeah, Mark Quinn not here tonight, probably because of something COVID-related. The match was changed, I believe, yesterday. So maybe he tested positive, or maybe he informed them that he got in contact with somebody who has it. No idea. So Hardy says he tells THQ he'll give them a lot of money if he beats up Page. So everyone's beating up on Hangman Page, and out comes the Dark Order. They make the save. Hardy, which Alan Angels actually stood up to Matt Hardy and was actually brawling with him more than anybody. Hangman goes for the buckshot lariat, almost nails it, but of course Hardy gets out of the ring. So they run off, him and Cassidy and everyone else run off. Hangman and the Dark Order have a stare down. They have an understanding, it seems like. Who knows? This one doesn't seem to be over between Hangman, Adam Page, and the Dark Order. And we'll see what happens with this, because as they mentioned that maybe Hangman has finally seen who his friends really are, because there's no Kenny Omega anymore. The Young Bucks are not backing him up anymore. Cody sure as hell ain't doing anything with him. He looks like he could have backup with the Dark Order. He could join them, sort of, but not being the tag team portion. He's just a singles guy. He does his own thing. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Backstage, Santana and Ortiz talk about how tonight will be their first title match. They've been here for over 18 months. They made their debut at All Out, or Double or Nothing. What was it? Double or Nothing or All Out? It was All Out 2019. And they haven't had one single title match since then. They say it's fear is the reason they haven't been afforded that opportunity. Then MJF takes the mic and still wants an apology from Sammy about what happened last week. Jericho tells MJF to shut up. And we all saw what Emmy was doing. He was goading Sammy in week after week. Jericho says some of it is MJF's fault, but most of it is Sammy Guevara's fault. Ultimately, Guevara's stupidest decision was quitting the Inner Circle, and that he's dead to Jericho, and he never wants to hear that loser's name again. And that tonight, the tag team champions are coming to the Inner Circle, but they're bringing back gold to the Inner Circle. And that was that. So, no Sammy this week. I don't know what's going on with the Sammy thing. There was this talk that Sammy Guevara was supposed to take the spot that Taurus from Lucha Underground, or not Lucha Underground, but AAA took with the K. He was supposed to be there a couple weeks ago on Impact, and he changed his flight to go there, to make it there the day of the taping, but things like he started texting Impact that he doesn't want to do that, he wants to do something else, and Impact was like, you know what, we're just going to drop it. Jericho contacted him and told him to go home. So yes, Sammy Guevara has a little bit of heat backstage, not too much probably. I don't know if him quitting the Inner Circle right now was in the plans. Maybe they wanted to take him off TV. All I know is we'll see where this is going. We still have a ways to go, and we still have a few weeks. I fully expect at Revolution it's either Jericho and Sammy Guevara, or MJF and Sammy Guevara at Revolution. But we'll have to wait and see. Recap of the tournament matches from Japan. We saw four challengers win pretty much. They had 4 people who have been in AEW or have a contract of some kind with AEW against 4 people who don't have a contract with AEW. And what did you expect was going to happen? All 4 women who won their matches, Emi Sakurai, Yuka Sakazaki, Aja Khan, and the other woman, I can't think off the top of my head. Hold on. Yeah, so, hold on, I got it here. Gotta love Wikipedia sometimes. Let's see. You had Emi Sakura, Yuka Sakazaki, Rai Mizunami, who's only had one other match in AEW, and that was the Joshi 6-woman tag match at Double or Nothing in 2019, and of course Aja Kong. Now, of the 4 women that were from Japan that we didn't see before, Mei Saruga, Vimy, Maki Ito, and Rimi Katakura. I would love to see Maka Ito a little bit more. She apparently is also, she was in a Joshi, a female band or some kind of like pop band. And then she got fired from that for some reason. She's in another one. But she came out, she had the stage presence. She led like a solo concert for a second before her match. She looked like somebody that I would like to see AEW do a little bit more with. All 4 women who aren't really contracted to AEW all did a hell of a job. I would love to see them get more out of it. Honestly, I can't wait to see what happens there. Now, the two Japanese matches for Japan, Yuka Sakazaki and Emi Sakurai, and Ryo Mizunami and Aja Kong will be on this Monday, as well as Tay Conti versus Nyla Rose and Dr. Britt Baker versus Anna Jay. It's so funny because AEW tries to push Britt Baker as the face of the brand, face of the company for the women's division, yet her first round match wasn't good enough to be on television. Riho and Serena Deeb were, and Layla Hirsch and Thunder Rosa were, but not Britt Baker. Kind of tells you something there. Absolutely no reason why Britt Baker should be anywhere near TV. Just saying. Just saying. But we'll talk about that. I believe that is the next match, right? Yeah. Women's World Champion, NWA Women's World Champion Serena Deeb versus Riho. Riho's first match since March of last year. 11 months this woman has been gone because of the scandemic. Now, I think I heard someone say that she's moving to Jacksonville. She's moving to the United States. So the problems that they had with her first title run, which was she was nowhere to be seen half the time because she lived in Japan, would not be a problem this time. So if she's moving to the United States, that'd be good. Still not the biggest fan of Riho. I'm not a big fan of her. There's other women I would put over her, plain and simple. But I will say that this was a really good match. Now, it was noted on commentary that Deeb has a brace on her knee. Really obviously seeing, you can see the black brace. She didn't cover it with her gear. She's just wearing it over top. So she recently tweaked her knee. Riho has the big pop. What's great about the amphitheater and the fact that they're in Daly's Place is that they don't have a full crowd. But when they're live, you can tell they're fucking live with a crowd because they are loud as can be, and it sounds like a packed house almost every single time. Just the acoustics and the way the amphitheater's set up, it just makes for a better show. And you can tell with this match, a big welcome back chant for Riho. These women did get dueling chants in the match, which is always good for them. This was great. I will say that. Deeb, Riho went out there. Riho showing off that she can carry the weight of a Serena Deeb with the bridge, and Deeb tries to go for the knees to knock her down, but no, that didn't work out. Now, Riho counters a pin for a 2. Riho with a Northern Light suplex for a 2 count. Riho goes up top, double stomp into Deeb's midsection. My God, that looked like that fucking hurt. Like, you see Balor do the coup de grace. Riho does this too. But usually they don't go for the fucking midsection. It feels like they go for the chest a little bit more, maybe in the middle. But she went straight into the fucking stomach. And it looked like it was very painful for Deeb. Multiple times, Deeb looked like she was this close, so close to winning this match. Multiple pins by both women. Riho finally gets her in one for a 1-2-3, and Riho gets the pinfall. Now, Riho wins. Good on her. I didn't think she was going to lose her first match back. I don't know if you're going to have her lose to Thunder Rosa or have Thunder Rosa beat her. The only reason that I think Thunder Rosa would make it to the finals of the American side, the semifinals, if you will, is Britt Baker is going to make it to the other side, and they're going to have the rematch between these two in the tournament, and Thunder Rosa is going to get a win back, which would be the smartest thing to do. But we'll have to wait and see. Britt Baker has her match against Anna Jay on Monday. So, good match overall. Riho gets the win. I kind of figured she was going to win. You're not going to bring Riho back in this tournament and have her lose like that. Just not going to happen. Now, would I want her against Thunder Rosa in the second round? Probably not. If it was up to me, would have had them in the semifinals. I would have had them in the semifinals. Thunder Rosa versus Riho if you're going to do that. But what I want to see for the American side is I want to see Tay Conti somehow beat Nyla Rose and Anna Jay somehow beat Anna Jay beat Britt Baker. So you have Tay Conti versus Anna Jay in the semifinals, and it's two best friends having to collide. And once that bell rings, once you're in between those ropes, the best friend thing goes out the door. That's what I want to see. Is that going to happen? Probably not. But we'll have to wait and see. Video package of Jade Cargill running in a gym and shooting hoops. What does that tell me about her wrestling ability? According to things that I can't find a single match for her. She's trading at the Nightmare Factory. The only thing that I know is that she hasn't had a proper match. She's going into this match on the 3rd, and it's going to be her first match. Now, that would be fine if she was going up against a Shida, or a Riho, or somebody who has had, even a Deeb, a Serena Deeb, somebody who's been in the wrestling business and has had multiple matches under their belt. I don't know how much Red Velvet's done, but in AEW she's not been that high profile of a person for very long. And I don't know if she's going to be able to help carry this person. If it was Jade Cargill and Shaq versus Hikaru Shida and Cody, I'd be like, okay, Shida can bring her through this match as best as possible. Serena Deeb would be able to do that too. Thunder Rose would be able to do that too. I don't see how this is going to be nothing but a disaster on the 3rd. I'm glad they kept it on TV. They're not putting it on pay-per-view. That would have been the dumbest thing they could have done. But yeah. Then we move on to Luther with Serpentico versus Orange Cassidy with Chuck Taylor. Now, I totally expected Miro and Kip Sabian to get involved in this match, but they did not, and they didn't get involved after the match. Now, if you watched AEW Dark last night, it had to be the fastest episode of Dark I have ever seen. They went to what Dark should have been in the first place. TV wrestlers like a Jon Moxley and others going out there, Eddie Kingston going out there, facing their opponent and beating them in less than 2 minutes. They did that for every match but the Brandon Cutler match. He had a little bit more time, but he still won. This match, Luther knocks Chuck Taylor off, so Pentaco takes Chuck Taylor down as well on the outside. So this match didn't last very long. Luther goes right to work on Cassidy, rips off his shirt. The two make it to the apron. Cassidy slips under and hits a rough-looking powerbomb to the floor. Now, so Pentaco gets in the ring. He's like, come on, man. Come in here. I'm going to mess you up. This motherfucker took one of the worst fucking moves of the night. This was the best part of this match. Chuck Taylor comes from behind, nails him with what they call an awful waffle, killed Serpentico, which the dude gets killed all the goddamn time, and in came Luther, Orange Crush, 1, 2, 3, and that was that. This match ended. Oh, it was Orange Punch. Okay, Orange Crush, whatever. But Orange Punch, 1, 2, 3, and Orange Cassidy wins in no time flat. We get a video package shown between television champion Darby Allin, Joey Janela, and then we see what happened with Sting in the ring as Team Taz shows up on the big screen, dragging Allin away in a body bag with a truck. Out comes Taz, Brian Cage, and Hook to make their way to the ring. Apparently, Hobbs and Starks are stuck in Texas or in the South because of the rare winter storm that is happening in the South, which has knocked a lot of people out with power in Texas and the surrounding areas. I hope everybody is safe and can get everything they need to get the power back on, their water back on, and everything else. So it's like, come to Ohio, come to up this area, and you can get yourself trained to be what it feels like when you lose power and shit like that. But they call him out. They demand him to come out. He comes out. He strolls to the ring. Sting tells Taz that the worst thing he could have done is get in the ring. Tells him he needs that bat, and he's been using it for years. Sting tosses it aside and stares at Taz. He throws his coat at Cage, faces and swings away. Hook comes over with the bat, brings him back. Cage kicks him in the gut, picks him up, big, huge powerbomb, and leaves Sting laying. This, I understand why they needed to get Sting a physical a little bit, because he hasn't wrestled since 2015. Hasn't really done anything. He did maybe one or two things physical over since he's been here, but that wasn't it. I wouldn't have done that, period. No fucking way would I have had Sting, who's had major neck problems, go out there and take a powerbomb from Brian Cage. Are you serious? Backstage, Eddie Kingston talks about how he wanted tonight's match against Lance Archer, Ray Phoenix, and Jon Moxley, about needing to end these demons all at once. And the demon he has the most problem with is Jon Moxley. He can't get rid of him with pills, drinks, or women. He has to get rid of Moxley by beating his ass. And he's going to tonight. We get an earlier skit with Kenny Omega reading the Young Bucks book to kids in class. Really don't care. Which is a bunch of stupid shit. And then we go to the Tag Team Championship match of the Young Bucks versus Santana and Ortiz for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. This was fucking awesome. This was a rubber match, obviously, because Santana Ortiz won a couple years, I think it was 2 years ago, in a championship match, not a championship match, but a match. I think it was at Full Gear 2 years ago. Then the Young Bucks won the number one contendership match against these guys, and then this was the rubber match. Talk about long-term storytelling. But this was great. We see Omega, Callis, and Good Brothers all looking from the back. Young Bucks control early on. There was a portion in this match where MJF goes to strike one of the Bucks with the diamond ring. The ref catches it and kicks the entire Inner Circle out, so they are out for the rest of this match. And this was just tag team wrestling all around. This was great. Now, Ortiz throws Matt into the barricade. Santana Ortiz then powerbomb him into the ringside area. And then Nick's down and out on the mat. Saw this finish coming a mile away. He's down and out on the mat. They're dealing with Matt. He says, Ortiz gets on the apron and says, "We're the best, the best, the best." Gets to the ring, rolled up, 1, 2, 3, Young Bucks retain. Yes, it does feel a little weak. It feels a little underwhelming for this great match to end that way. But you put it out there and it was going to fucking happen. You knew it was going to happen, and it did. After the match, the Inner Circle immediately attacked Matt and Nick in the backstage area. Kenny Omega wants to help. Callis holds him off and says he has an idea. Whispers something to Anderson and Gallows. The Good Brothers head off. Brandon Cutler tries to help, but he's dropped on stage by Jake Hager. MJF and Jericho each apply a submission to the brothers. They are both tapping out. The commentary does make a mention that both tag team champs are tapping out to the challengers at Revolution. The Good Brothers make their way to the ring. Inner Circle bail. Jericho talks some trash to Papa Buck, which the Bucks parents came to Jacksonville to watch their sons wrestle live for the first time probably in a good while. Probably since the scandemic started. Backstage, Brandy Rhodes says she wants to do a gender reveal, but she can't do a gender reveal with her family and all these supporters and everything. So why don't we just do it tonight? She's the only person who knows if it's a boy or a girl. Cody doesn't even know because he's got a big mouth apparently. So they come out, fireworks go off, and on the screen it says it's a girl. So Brandy and Cody get a couple kisses in. He celebrates as they head over to the commentary desk, and Cody's going to be on commentary for the next match. But congratulations to Brandy and Cody Rhodes on your soon-to-be baby girl. just good shit all around for them. That is awesome for them to have. FTR versus the Sydal brothers, Matt and Mike Sydal. First and foremost, I didn't even know Matt Sydal had a brother. I don't know where he came from, but I will say this match, in my opinion, was a tryout match for Mike Sydal. Because he got a lot in this match. Was he going to win? No. FTR wins with the big rig on Mike. But this was great. He looked great. Now, he also had a botch in this match. I don't know what he was trying to do. But it looked like... What was he trying to do again? He was going for like a splash. He was going for a... What was it? A 450 it looked like. And he missed. Or something, like he slipped. He looked like he actually slipped. I don't know if this is his first match since the whole COVID thing started. But... yeah, outside of that one botch, he looked great in this match. And honestly, if they sign Mike Sydal and we have Matt and Mike Sydal, that would be fucking great. That's another tag team for the tag team division. They need to take some of the tag teams in the tag team division and move them into a triple team division so we can have trios titles and not have... because we have a lot of tag teams. We really, really, really have a lot of tag teams, and AEW needs to do something with a lot of it. So, okay, let's see. Post-match, Dr. Samson is called to the ring, but FTR takes the kit to grab the scissors. They go to cut Mike's hair, but the lights go out. We see a big screen, and it's green. We see a green light, and when they focus in, we see Luchasaurus' mask that they cut the horns off. Lights go back up, and we see Luchasaurus has a newish mask with horns now on it. He and Jungle Boy take out FTR, put double submissions. Jungle Boy has a submission on one, and the other one gets choke slammed. And I like this new aggression coming out of the Jurassic Express. They can be fun and games all they want, but they know when to be. They know when to get serious, and they're getting serious. So great on them. Whew, what a hell of a show. So, next week, we're going to have Hangman Page versus Isaiah Cassidy. Semis for the U.S. Women's bracket. For the U.S. side. Ricky Starks and Brian Cage with Taz and Hook versus the Varsity Blondes. Rest in peace, Varsity Blondes. Jake Hager versus Brandon Cutler. Rest in peace, Brandon Cutler. On March 3rd, FTR and, that's a big thing, and Tully Blanchard will take on Jurassic Express. Tully Blanchard is making his return to the ring for the first time in a long time. Cody and Red Velvet with Arn Anderson versus Shaq and Jay Cargill. That is going to be happening in 2 weeks. At Revolution, AEW Women's World Champion Hikaru Shida will face the winner of the Women's Eliminated Title Tournament. Hopefully it's anybody but Britt Baker. John Moxley says Eddie Kingston always has to stick up his ass and still has problems with all his partners. Moxley says he still cares about Kingston, but he'll whoop him again. He notes his February 26th match against Kenta, and he's coming for Kenny Omega's World Heavyweight Championship. And then we go to our main event. They did show the fact that Dory Funk Jr. was actually in the crowd with his wife, so nice little legend shot right there. John Moxley, Ray Phoenix, Lance Archer with Jake Roberts versus Eddie Kingston, the Butcher, and the Blade with the Bunny. Kind of disappointed that Moxley didn't come out with the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship again, even though they did acknowledge him on camera, on commentary, so that's a positive there. I didn't know if it was just because they did it last week. I mean, he did show up on Dark last night with it, but of course that was taped when they did this last time they did the show. So this was like a two halves of a match. The first half was all 6 guys just beating the fucking piss out of each other and just going ham. The second half of this match was Ray Phoenix showing why he should be in the conversation for the AEW Heavyweight Championship. Why is this man not being talked about as a World Heavyweight Champion? I don't get it. So it comes down to pretty much Lance Archer and Phoenix take Butcher and Blade out, and it comes down to John Moxley and Eddie Kingston. They go ham, they beat the hell out of each other. Death Rider 1, 2, 3, and John Moxley gets the win. He's celebrating when out comes the Good Brothers. They beat the hell out of him. Out comes Kenny Omega, who says, well, you know what this is, as I have this thing in my hand. It's a contract for a rematch that you put in there. Well, I'm going to make the match. At Revolution, it is going to be an exploding barbed wire death match for the title. What in the little fuck are they going to do? This is going to be a crazy fucking match. Like, if you don't know what an exploding barbed wire death match is, you should go check out any Japanese death match. Mick Foley's been in some. Terry Funk's been in some. They are not something you want to take lightly. I don't think a barbed wire exploding death match has ever happened on U.S. soil. Japanese death matches are just something that I don't even want to... Holy shit, like, this is going to be something that we, like... If you haven't, I haven't really seen a Japanese death match myself. I've seen highlights, I've seen clips, but I haven't seen a full one. This, if they do it right, which I don't know if they're going to be able to do it right, or they're going to gimmick it to make it a little bit too much, like a little too stupid, but holy shit, a Japanese death match. Exploding barbed wire death match. That means if you get powerbombed, you get thrown onto the mat, it's going to blow. You're going to hear explosion. I don't know how they're going to get this past regulations in the United States. I think there's a reason. This is going to be one of those things that, holy shit, what the fuck are they going to do that gets this to work? I'm flabbergasted they're even going to bring this forward. Holy shit, a Japanese death match. Well, it could be the end of Jon Moxley, it could be the end of Kenny Omega, and we'll find out on the 7th. 4 days later, we will find out what's going off. Whew. So, that is AEW on TNT. Hell of a show. Hell of a show. I can't wait to see what happens next week. The 3rd's coming up. Well, Revolution's coming up very soon. Matt Hardy versus Hangman Page will be a good match. The finals, the Hikaru Shida versus whoever wins the Eliminator Tournament. Hopefully, it's anybody but Britt Baker, because it would be a hell of a match. Team Taz versus Darby Allin and Sting in a street fight. Cody versus Scorpio Sky. Oh yeah, this was something else that got named, and I forgot to mention this. When Cody Rhodes was on commentary for that match with Matt and Mike Sydal versus the FTR, they announced that we're going to have a 6-way ladder match. Face of the Revolution ladder match. Winner receives an AEW TNT Championship match. Cody, Scorpio Sky, and Penta El Zero Miedo are the first 3 announced. We don't know the other 3 men. How you don't get Phoenix in this match is beyond me. This is a match made for Phoenix. Again, Rey Fenix, by the end of this year, should be your AEW World Champion for at least a good bit. He has just shown out time and time again that he should be in that conversation. But if we can get him a TNT in this match, it would be great. Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley, exploding barbed wire death match. I don't even know how you're going to fucking do this thing. Young Bucks versus the Inner Circles, Chris Jericho and MJF will be good too. Hopefully. But that's exploding. But that's 6 matches right there, and I don't think we're going to get anything else. I think this is your card for the show. I'll wait till we get there. But oh my god, what a fucking show this is going to be. But match 1 through 5 can suck ass if they want to, which is not going to happen. An exploding barbed wire death match has to deliver. They have to take this into what an actual exploding barbed wire death match is. Because if they come out and just make a mockery of an exploding barbed wire death match, then it's not going to work. At least they didn't go barbed wire, which you got to think, barbed wire massacre has happened in TNA a lot. But that's not adding explosives. This is adding fucking explosives. I can't even. All I know is we're going to have ourselves an interesting match. And this one is not unsanctioned like the last time these guys had a match at a pay-per-view. I mean, yeah, at a pay-per-view, because Winter is Coming was not a technical pay-per-view. But AEW on TNT will be back next week, and let's see what happens there. hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the France Club, find me on twitch.tv/the France Club, and find me on Instagram at the France Club. And I will see you guys on Friday for SmackDown. Until then, my name is France, and I'll see you guys later.